Wonderful to see, and that is all part of the legacy after the FIFA World Cup 2010 right here on African soil. Kennedy Gondwe joins us in the studio. And Kennedy, I mean, many have asked, what has the World Cup ultimately done for the African continent? I don't think give us a great tournament and feel good feeling, but now we're starting to see, and some of these stories tangible on the ground of what the legacy of the World Cup in Africa has been.
Exactly. I mean, when you look at the World Cup, a lot of people didn't expect Africa to host it, and it came to South Africa. It was a great success. A lot of people, youngsters that watch these stars that they only see on TV playing for their European clubs, had an opportunity to see them firsthand, and it has motivated them. But when you look at the legacy of the World Cup in general, I think it's the ability by Africa to host such major tournaments, the ability by Africa to unite, and those are some of the benefits that we're seeing right now.
You know what? You're a man who writes for the BBC, and what was being said in BBC offices when the World Cup was here in South Africa? Were they surprised to see what actually took place?
They were surprised, and I should confess that I was one of those people that was quite pessimistic. I didn't know what exactly.
How can you be pessimistic at an African?
No.
Had they got in your mind?
You can be an African, but at the same time, you just don't know what's going to happen to your continent or your Africa. Just the first time that they're hosting such a major, big tournament, I think it's not everyone that will be confident from the word go that the World Cup is going to take place.
We were all completely confident.
Maybe because we live here. Do you live here?
No, I don't live here. I live in Zambia. Okay, and it's the first time that I was watching the World Cup, okay? Not on TV, but coming here and having that opportunity to watch it. And if you're going to hear Africa is going to host the World Cup for the first time, you're thinking, oh, the 32 countries or the 32 nations are going to be in Africa. We're going to be seeing all these great coaches, watching them actually beat at FNB Stadium or wherever here in Africa. So you're going to be pessimistic a bit. And I'm just being honest. I was one of those people that was pessimistic, but it came, it passed, and it was a success.
Thanks for your honesty, but trust us. We know it.
Now I can trust you because you hosted it and it was successful. Yeah, of course.
Trust the continent. But yeah, that was what is happening up in Zambia as far as the Football for Hope is concerned. Kenya. And now let's go on. Oh, in Kenya. Sorry, I've got Zambia in my mind because of Kennedy here. But now let's go and take a quick look as far as the Champions League is concerned. We've seen some great results, and we've also seen confirmation of 3 of the semi-finalists, and those are TP Mazembe, 6 times African champions, Al Ali, as well as Esperance. They're through to the semi-finals. TP Mazembe beating Zimbabwe's Dynamos. They got through there. And there's a little bit of a sideline story as far as TP Mazembe is concerned. Yes, they did get the goals. Yes, Singoluma scored there, but their man in charge, their owner, Moses Katumbi, not happy.
No, Moses Katumbi is not happy at all. Remember, there was a fracas when they played the Sekafa Cup.
2 of their players have been banned by FIFA.
Exactly, 1 for 12 months, 1 for 11 months. And their captain, Trezor Mputo, has been banned for 1 year. So he's saying, well, they have apologized, and apologies have been accepted. Why did it come in now they've qualified for the semi-finals to ban their players? It's not very happy about that. And again, they've decided to appeal to FIFA, that FIFA should look into this case and try and lift up the ban.
Great finish there from Alain Kaliatuka, and then given Singoluma, and maybe you can tell us a little bit more, Kennedy, about Singoluma as he gets his second goal.
Given Singoluma comes from Zambia, I mean, he comes from an academy, Coach Paramba, which is owned by the Republican president right now. I mean, he started off as an unknown player. He came here in South Africa, played for Bay United. He was laid off, went back to Zambia, started playing for Zanaco. In no time, TP Mazembe spotted him. There were offers from Europe, but he didn't go to Europe. He went to TP, and he's really making a name for himself there. I had an opportunity to watch that particular match when they beat Dynamos of Zimbabwe 2-1. In the background, again, just like Ida has been saying, you should also bear in mind that the first coach, I mean, the coach that won TP Mazembe, the Champions League, left, and there's a new person right now, and that was his first game. Dynamos went into that match without 7 of the regular players. They were all serving suspension. And then TP Mazembe, like Ida said, they had no Trezor Mputo, there's no Guy Lusadisu, and obviously the game was interesting from that aspect because both teams were somehow weakened.
There's confirmation of the group standings there. Esperance and TP Mazembe are through already. It's just a case now in the final group games. of working out who tops the group and who comes out in second place. Here is what's coming up over the weekend. Setif against the Mazembe, Dynamos against Esperance in Group A. In Group B, we saw six-time African champions Al Ahly overcome Heartland in their encounter, 2-1 there. And now a case of being very difficult as far as Heartland is concerned to get any further in the tournament.
They're out.
Yeah.
They're out. You know, after they go 20th minute, about the 20th minute, you know, they held Ali. But again, when you play a team like Ali, look at the crowd. Look at the sea of red. They embarrass you from the airport. I was in Tunisia once to play against Esperance. It's just crazy when you go to these North African countries, they just flood you.
Goals coming there from Ahmed Fati. That's the opener. And the second one came through Mohamed Fadel, doubling the score there and giving Al Ahly the advantage that they needed there. So Nigerians crashing out of the tournament, and the Egyptians showing again why they are ranked #1 on the African continent for the national team. And Al Ahly slowly starting to get back maybe to their place that we remember. Six-time African champions, but they've been poor over the last couple of seasons.
Yes, they have been poor, and I remember...
By their standards.
By their standards, of course. The time that their coach left them and went to coach Angola, Jose Manuel, I mean, they haven't really been the same. Now, after you look at the semi-final teams, the teams that made it the semi-finals, one thing that I'm really concerned about is that we've got 3 North African countries.
Well, I mean, you see there Jazz Kabylia's topping their group, and looking at the games that are coming up, Heartland takes on Kabylia, and Ismailia take on Al Ahly there. Now, it pretty much looks like Ismailia will be the one to follow through. So getting back to your point?
Yeah, the point that I was trying to drive at is that we've got 3 North African clubs. The only team that we've got from Sub-Saharan Africa is TP Mazembe. Is the North African dominance coming back? What really is wrong with teams from this part of the continent? Is it resources? Okay, so we should reach a stage where teams from Zimbabwe should be competing at the same level.
It's professionalism. That is what is called in simple man's English, professionalism. How much do you pay your Zambian player? You pay him, maybe you just pay him $500 if we transfer it in dollars. If he takes that money to Egypt, the Egyptians will change this money to coins. It's nothing. You know, this is a professional job. It's an investment. You know, players in Africa receive peanuts. If you come to the Nigerian league, if you calculate, players in Nigeria are still paid 30,000 naira, which is $200.
That's something to maybe discuss on another day. But now, let's confirm for you what it is that you can look forward to seeing here on your World of Champions when it comes to the African Champions League. TK, some great games to see.
Oh, yes. I think Dynamos Esperance. Remember that group, Dynamos Esperance, Mazembe as well. It has, you know, they still have to find out who will top that group, because whoever tops that group will play away in the first leg of the semi-final. So I think there's still a lot to play for in this.
Check out those games on Supersport 9 over the weekend. But now, we're going to have to say goodbye. Thank you very much to you guys here in the studio, but we're not saying goodbye without showing you our African sons scoring goals over in Europe. I love that it's back. I know you do as well. Kennedy, thanks for being with us today. Let's take a look now at Out of Africa. African boys doing the business in Europe. Take a look and enjoy. Good night.
Africa is watching.